8 species in genus Zantedeschia. Arum lily, Calla lily. September 7th, Zantedeschia, Zantedeschia, the Calla lily, defines September 7th. Zantedeschia symbolizes purity and elegance. You have a refined presence that exudes sophistication. Like its graceful blooms, your beauty is timeless. Zantedeschia, more than just a arum lily. I've always been drawn to the elegant simplicity of Calla lily or arum lily. Their graceful form and vibrant colors make them a favorite in gardens and floral arrangements worldwide. But it wasn't until recently that I delved deeper into the genus Zantedeschia, discovering a fascinating world of diversity beyond the classic white calla lily. As a plant enthusiast, I'm constantly seeking new knowledge and exploring the intricate relationships within the botanical world. Zantedeschia, a genus belonging to the Araceae family, captivated me with its unique characteristics and rich history. Native to southern Africa, these herbaceous perennials have spread across the globe, captivating gardeners and plant lovers alike. A diverse genus. While many people associate Zantedeschia with the common white calla lily, Zantedeschia ethiopica, the genus comprises 8 distinct species, each with its own unique charm. These include Zantedeschia ethiopica, the iconic white calla lily, known for its large, pure white spathe and yellow spadix. Zantedeschia albomaculata, commonly known as the spotted calla lily, this species features white spats adorned with attractive spots. Zantedeschia eliottiana, this species boasts vibrant yellow spats and is often called the golden or yellow calla lily. Zantedeschia jucunda, a rare species with large, golden yellow spats, similar in appearance to Z. eliottiana, but with a distinct, deeper hue. Zantedeschia odorata. As the name suggests, this species is known for its fragrant, white spats. Zantedeschia pentlandii. This species features striking, deep yellow spats with a purple throat. Zantedeschia rehmannii. This species is characterized by its pink to reddish-purple spats. Plant FAQs. Zantedeschia rehmannii, pink calla lily. Zantedeschia valida, a recently discovered species with white spats and a yellow spadix, similar to Z. Ethiopica, but with subtle differences in leaf shape and growth habit. This diversity within the genus offers a range of colors and forms, making Zantedeschia a versatile choice for gardens and floral arrangements. What is arum lily? When does arum lily flower? Arum lily, for me, is a stunning flower with its elegant white blooms and glossy green foliage. I first encountered it in a friend's garden and was immediately captivated by its beauty. The sight of it brings a sense of tranquility and sophistication to any space. As for when it flowers, I've noticed that it typically blooms in late spring to early summer, gracing us with its delicate presence during those warmer months. What do calla lilies represent? For me, calla lilies have always walked the line between elegance and mourning. Their tall, graceful stems and smooth, trumpet-shaped blooms are undeniably beautiful, perfect for a sophisticated centerpiece or a splash of color in the garden. But there's also a quiet solemnity to them, which is why I often see them in funeral arrangements. Maybe it's the association with Easter lilies or the simple, almost stark beauty of the flower itself. Either way, for me, calla lilies represent a kind of hopeful reverence, a reminder of both life's fragility and its enduring beauty. Arum lily versus peace lily. The arum lily, with its slender white blooms and arrow-shaped leaves, brings a subtle gracefulness to spaces, perfect for adding a delicate touch to my home decor. Meanwhile, the peace lily's lush green foliage and striking white flowers make it a resilient and symbolic plant, known for its air-purifying qualities and low maintenance, making it a favorite for brightening up any room effortlessly. Where to buy arum lily plants? Finding arum lily plants can sometimes be a bit tricky, but I've had luck searching at local nurseries or garden centers. They usually have a variety of plants available, including arum lilies, especially during the spring and summer seasons when they're in high demand. Additionally, I've found some reputable online retailers that offer arum lily plants for purchase, which can be convenient if you're unable to find them locally. Do deer eat calla lilies? No way, deer wouldn't touch my calla lilies. Last year, I planted a whole row of them along the back fence, thinking they'd add a pop of color. My neighbor, who's been battling deer in her garden for years, warned me they'd be gone by nightfall. But guess what? Those calla lilies thrived all summer, with their big, beautiful blooms practically brushing the fence. Not a single bite mark. Maybe it's the location, right next to the fence line where the deer feel less comfortable lingering, or maybe there's something about those calla lilies they just don't like. Whatever the reason, they were the peace lilies of my garden, deer-free and fabulous. Are arum lilies poisonous? One thing to note about arum lilies is that they contain toxins that can be harmful if ingested, so it's important to keep them out of reach of children and pets. I've read that the entire plant, including the leaves, flowers, and roots, contains calcium oxalate crystals, which can cause irritation and swelling if touched or eaten. While I haven't experienced any issues personally, I always err on the side of caution and handle them with care. Is arum lily poisonous to cats? Is arum lily poisonous to dogs? Regarding cats and dogs, it's advisable to keep them away from arum lilies as they can be toxic to both pets. Even a small amount of ingestion can lead to symptoms such as vomiting, diarrhea, and difficulty swallowing. As a pet owner, I prioritize their safety and take precautions to ensure they stay away from any potentially harmful plants in my home or garden. Do hummingbirds like calla lilies? That's an interesting question. Here's the thing. Calla lilies aren't exactly hummingbird magnets. They lack the flashy, open blooms hummingbirds typically favor. Calla lilies have a more elegant, trumpet-shaped flower with a central spadix that doesn't offer easy access to nectar. However, there are some mixed reports online. Some gardeners claim hummingbirds visit their calla lilies, while others haven't had any luck. It's possible that certain calla lily varieties, particularly those with lighter colors or a wider opening at the bloom, might be more attractive to hummingbirds. In my experience, I haven't personally spotted hummingbirds buzzing around my calla lilies. But that doesn't mean yours won't attract them. If you're hoping to create a hummingbird haven in your garden, I'd recommend planting some tried-and-true hummingbird favorites alongside your calla lilies. Bee balm, trumpet honeysuckle, and fuchsia are all known to be irresistible to these tiny, feathered jewels. Can arum lily grow in water? I've learned that arum lilies can indeed grow in water, making them a versatile plant. I've seen some beautiful arrangements where the lilies are grown in containers filled with water, showcasing their graceful blooms in a unique way. Can a calla lily grow indoors? Absolutely. My calla lilies thrive indoors, even though they're technically outdoor plants. They love the bright, indirect sunlight streaming through my east-facing windows. Keeps them happy and flowering for weeks on end. I just make sure to rotate the pot every few days so all sides get some sun love. The trickiest part for me is mimicking their natural moisture levels. My house can get a bit dry in the winter, so I use a pebble tray filled with water under the pot to keep the humidity up. And forget about letting the soil dry out completely. These guys are practically little water fountains. A good soak once a week, with the pot draining well, seems to do the trick. Overall, calla lilies have become surprising indoor superstars in my house. Beautiful blooms without the hassle of battling the elements. How to care for arum lilies. Caring for arum lilies involves providing them with well-draining soil, regular watering, and partial shade. I've found that they appreciate consistent moisture but can tolerate brief periods of drought once established. Additionally, I make sure to fertilize them during the growing season to encourage healthy growth and abundant blooms. How to get rid of arum lilies. If you find yourself needing to get rid of arum lilies, it's essential to do so carefully to prevent them from spreading. I've had success removing them by digging up the entire plant, including the roots, and disposing of them properly. It's important to be thorough to prevent any regrowth or spread of the plant in your garden. How to propagate arum lily. When it comes to propagating arum lilies, I've found that division is the most straightforward method. I've successfully divided mature plants by carefully separating the rhizomes and replanting them in new locations. This not only helps control the size of the plant, but also allows me to expand my arum lily collection. Are arum and calla lilies the same? While arum and calla lilies may look similar, they are actually different plants belonging to separate genera. Arum lilies are part of the Araceae family, while calla lilies belong to the Zantedeschia genus. However, they share some similarities in appearance, such as their trumpet-shaped flowers and glossy green leaves. Do arum lilies prefer sun or shade? Do arum lilies like full sun? In terms of sunlight preferences, arum lilies generally prefer partial shade to full shade. although they can tolerate some morning sun. I've found that they thrive best in locations with dappled sunlight or filtered light, where they're protected from intense afternoon sun. Providing them with the right amount of shade helps prevent their leaves from scorching and ensures they maintain their vibrant green color. Do you deadhead arum lilies? As for deadheading, I've found that removing spent flowers can help prolong the blooming period and keep the plant looking tidy. I make sure to trim away any faded blooms as soon as they start to wilt, which encourages the plant to redirect its energy into producing new flowers. It's a simple task that can make a big difference in the overall appearance of the plant. How often to water arum lily? When it comes to watering arum lilies, I've found that they prefer consistently moist soil, especially during the growing season. I typically water them deeply once a week, ensuring the soil is evenly moist but not waterlogged. During hot summer months, I may increase the frequency of watering to prevent the soil from drying out completely. However, I always make sure to allow the soil to dry slightly between waterings to avoid waterlogged conditions, which can lead to root rot. Why are my calla lilies drooping? There are a couple of things that could be making your calla lilies droop. Let's think it through. Have you checked the soil lately? Calla lilies love moisture, but if they're swimming in water, their stems get weak and droopy. Sticking your finger in the soil is a good trick. If it feels dry to the first knuckle, it's watering time. But if it's soggy, hold off and let things dry out a bit. Overwatering is a common culprit with these guys. On the other hand, maybe your calla lilies are feeling parched, especially if it's been hot and sunny lately. They like a good, deep soak once a week, so if they haven't had a drink in a while, that could be why they're drooping. Give them a good watering and see if they perk up in a day or two. Why are my calla lily leaves turning yellow? There are a couple of reasons why your calla lily leaves might be turning yellow, and figuring it out can help you get your beautiful flowers back on track. One possibility is that it's just part of the natural cycle. Calla lilies aren't evergreen, and as they get towards the end of their flowering season, the leaves will naturally start to yellow and die back. This usually happens after the blooms have faded. If this is the case, there's no need to worry. It just means it's time to cut back the old foliage and let the plant rest. However, if your calla lily is still producing blooms or seems weak overall, then the yellowing leaves could be a sign of a problem. The most likely culprit is overwatering. Calla lilies love moisture, but like most plants, they don't like sitting in soggy soil. This can lead to root rot, which disrupts the plant's ability to take up nutrients and water, causing the leaves to yellow. To check for overwatering, stick your finger into the soil. If it feels wet or mushy down to your first knuckle, then hold off on watering for a while. Let the soil dry out a bit, and then water deeply when the top inch or so of soil feels dry. If you're worried about root rot, you can carefully remove the calla lily from its pot and inspect the roots. Healthy roots should be white or cream-colored and firm. If the roots are brown, mushy, or smell bad, then root rot is likely the culprit. In this case, you'll need to take some action to save your plant. Why is my arum lily dying? If you notice your arum lily starting to decline, there could be several reasons why it's dying. In my experience, common issues include overwatering, underwatering, or exposure to extreme temperatures. I've also encountered problems with pests such as aphids or spider mites, which can weaken the plant if left untreated. To revive a struggling arum lily, I carefully assess its growing conditions and make any necessary adjustments, such as adjusting watering frequency or relocating it to a more suitable spot. Additionally, I inspect the plant for signs of pests or diseases and take appropriate measures to address any issues. With proper care and attention, I've found that arum lilies can bounce back from setbacks and thrive once again. A continuing journey. My exploration of Zantedeschia has been a rewarding journey, deepening my appreciation for the natural world and the intricate relationships within it. From the elegant simplicity of the white calla lily to the vibrant hues of the lesser-known species, Zantedeschia offers a wealth of beauty and fascination. As I continue to learn and grow as a plant enthusiast, I'm excited to further explore the world of Zantedeschia, experimenting with different cultivation techniques and discovering new ways to appreciate these captivating plants.